All right, you know what it is. This one is going to be about C Murder and Kim Kardashian joining the fight for his freedom. This is about C Murder and Kim Kardashian joining the fight for his freedom. Sit back, I'm going to break this down in what we call layman's terms so you fully understand. All right? All right, let's go, let's go. Let's get the gunshots going. Let's go, let's go. Let's get hype. Let's go. Let's go. It's a fight. It's a fight. It's a fight. All right, so this is where we at. All right, so now, this one's about C Murder. You know what I mean? Unique Mecca audio here, man. Got to introduce myself. You know what it is. C Murder was convicted in 2002 of the fatal beating and stabbing of a teenage fan. A young man went to go see C Murder's situation. He was performing, you know, he was doing his thing, was popping back then, you know, the bout it, and everything was out, so you already know Master P, brother, and all that, so let's not get that confused. What I like about Master P, because, you know, I like to ride, so I'm going to ride early, you know what I mean? And, you know, I got to give the gunshots to the rat bastards and flip-flop wearing dudes that don't like my gunshots. You know what I mean? Take that. Now, anyway, C Murder was told by Master P back when they was first starting to get money and moving out the hood, that why you keep going to clubs when you could buy a house with a club in it and invite the people there and control the narrative of what happens there. You go into these clubs and you don't know what is gonna jump off. You with all kinds of people, haters, and everything else. But C Murder didn't take the advice of Master P. You know what I mean? See, I had that vision years ago. I used to run around to Ebony Lounge, Savoy Manor, Willie's Lounge. I went everywhere to party. And for me going everywhere to party, you know what I mean? So many people and carloads would follow me where I'm going. I'm like, why am I bringing the money to all these clubs and buying out the bar? And then them not having enough liquor, then I got to go to another club, buy out their bar for all of our friends to get our drink on, you know? So I decided to open up my own club, and that way I control the narrative, and that's why I did what I did. And I was talking to my man V yesterday from the Beat 139. I did an interview for them. Go check out the Beat 139 right now. The Beat 139. I did something for Don Vito and the family over there. It's airing right now. We did it live yesterday. You know, where we spoke on a lot of these things that I'm speaking on. That's why I chose this story today. Now, C Murder's ex-girlfriend, R&B singer Monica, contacted Kim Kardashian to get her on board as an advocate to get him out. I had Brittany Barnett as my advocate to get me out, and Susan Feinberg, you know, and K-Bone Rivers. Big shout out and round of applause to those three. You know? Thank you. And I definitely want to give a shout out for my freedom fight to Mark Steffens and, you know, Chachina Smith. You know, they helped send the legal papers and, you know, do the emailing and all that while I was incarcerated, because you need a team of people to move with you, you know? So I'm going to give them a round of applause, too. I'm going to give them a round of applause, too, all right? I'm going to give them a round of applause. Relax, man. Those are the 5 people that was intricate in helping to get me out of prison, you know? And now Kim Kardashian got on board with him. Let me explain to you what Kim Kardashian being on your team means. Like, I was in Atwater, you know, I'm riding again. I was in Atwater, USP in California. And, no, my bag, I was in Victorville, USP, back in like 2019, around, end of 2019. Kim Kardashian came on the news that she was getting involved with the clemencies and, you know, this and that, and she was starting to do something else with Donald Trump after the clemencies got denied, because the clemencies was back in 2016. So by 2019, Kim Kardashian was back at it again, and she definitely deserves a round of applause. She definitely deserves a round of applause. All right, relax, man. Let me tell the story. Can I tell the story? Okay. So now, I saw on TMZ where Kim Kardashian was up there with another female. I forgot her name, a black female sister. You know, so no disrespect to her for me not remembering her name. But I saw where they was doing another movement, and I was so happy on the inside, like, oh my God, somebody is there for us, you know. And Kim don't know if anybody's in touch with Kim Kardashian. Tell her to contact me. I want to personally thank her and Kanye West because they donated to Brittany Barnett's and Corey Jacobs. Big shout out to Corey Jacobs too. He was intricate and he deserved. I'm doing too much round of applause, but they deserve it. You know, round of applause to Corey Jacobs, man. Round of applause to Corey Jacobs, a.k.a. Buck. All right, relax. I text them regular, at least every couple of months, to thank them for what they did, advocating for my freedom and getting me out here, you know? But just seeing Kim Kardashian on TV gave all of us in front of TV hope. Yes, I'm going to say it because I'm raw like that. This white woman gave us hope after the white man buried us and threw away the key. Kim Kardashian, you don't know what you've done to us. Please contact me so I can tell you firsthand and give you your flowers that you deserve, you know, just for keeping our hopes and spirits alive, you know. Corey Miller, a.k.a. C Murder, is 49. He was convicted in 2009 of the 2002 incident for fatally stabbing allegedly, because he's been proclaiming his innocence, for allegedly fatally beating and stabbing, you know, Stephen Thomas, you know, the victim. His family wound up filing a wrongful death lawsuit against C Murder and was awarded over 1.1 million. You see how the court system works? They already got him doing life in jail, and now whatever money he got to survive while he in jail, they hitting him on a wrongful death lawsuit. So if you youngins want to go out there, do all this and say you get in the bag, then get locked up, got to give it to the lawyers, and then even have to give it back to the victims, I mean, all hell break loose. I mean, come on, man. Big shout out to Polo the Don. He represented with the CASHAPP, you know, and Andre Davis and Rodney McKinley. You know what I mean? I got people that represent. You know what I mean? Scott's Enterprise LLC, Scorpion Lawn and Care. You know what I mean? Thank you. Got to shout them out, you know. And Prince Green. You know, that's where I'm at right now. I'll do the rest a little later. But I want to thank y'all. And the CASHAPP is on the screen. It's Unique Mecca Audio. Unique Mecca Hall is not spelled with a 1 in the name, so look carefully and make sure that the last name Hall is not spelled with a 1. Then go a step further, please, if you support me, and hit the logo and make sure say that account was created in 2020. Okay, 49-year-old Corey Miller, a.k.a. C Murder, was convicted in 2009 of the 2002 incident, and, you know, he's like 14 miles from Baton Rouge right now, you know, serving this life sentence, you know. C Murder was convicted, you know, basically of 2 eyewitnesses. One of them was a bouncer that said that they saw him actually pull the trigger and shoot the young man. So that's what he went down for, these 2 eyewitnesses. And where this case gets even more crazier is that after they testified, you know, years later they came out and said that they was coerced and forced by the government in order to testify and say that they saw him do that, you know? So they then turned around and said that they saw him do that, and then they came back and they wrote an affidavit doing what they call recantation. He recanted his testimony, you know, the 2 eyewitnesses saying that the police forced them to say that, and that never happened. They never seen C Murder with it. C Murder then filed papers in court, I think it was in 2019. So you rat bastards and trolls could correct me if I'm wrong, because that's all you do is sit here like, you know, a crumb snatcher looking for somebody to have a crumb on the side of his mouth and say, ew, he look nasty, look at that. Why are you looking at his mouth? Why are you looking at my channel if you don't like my content? You have time. I'm going to give you 3 seconds to tap out. Gone rat bastards. You know, trolls and flip-flop wearing in public clowns. You know what I mean? I hate you dudes more than I hate gum on my shoe. Just so you understand, because you're not worth nothing. All you do is sit around trying to bottom feed. But anyway, let me get back to the story because I don't want to get sidetracked with, you know, these clowns. But I wanted to have some fun talking about it. You know what I mean? So we got C Murder. The two eyewitnesses recanted their testimony, and then in 2019, when they filed the paperwork to the court, the judge threw it out and said that, you know, that he wasn't accepting their testimony, you know, they recantation of their testimony. So that's how crazy this is. Here it is. The two eyewitnesses said, man, the police forced me to say it. I lied. I feel bad about this innocent man sitting in jail for something that, you know, I lied about, and I can't sleep at night. So I want to come forward and clear the record straight and give an affidavit recanting my testimony to let him have a proper trial without the, you know, the coercion that was allowed to go down, you know, based on the prosecutor, you know, pressuring him, right? Now, also, C Murder pled no contest, no, how they pronounce it? No contest, you know, to two other, you know, to another shooting that happened a year before in 2001 that he was also sentenced to in 2009. So he got the no contest plea that he did, and a no contest plea, so y'all understand, that means that, you know, I'm throwing myself at the mercy of the court, but I'm not, you know, admitting to anything or denying anything. You know, I just want it to be over in layman's terms. So you rat bastards could sit there and fight in the comments over if I said it right or wrong, but I just wanted my people to understand it. Now, C Murder was initially convicted in 2003 by a non-unanimous verdict. I had to learn how to pronounce that word because that was something I was fighting. That's why I love to do these videos, and I'm going to start doing more of these type of celebrity videos for that same reason, you know? I'm going to start doing those videos. Now, a non-unanimous verdict. Let me tell you what unanimous is, first of all. Unanimous means everyone have to agree. Not half, not some, everyone have to agree. That's a non-unanimous verdict. You know, a unanimous verdict. So C Murder had 10 jurors say that he was guilty and 2 jurors said he wasn't guilty. So that's called a non-unanimous verdict because all 12 didn't collectively agree. Do y'all understand that? I'm taking my time to make sure my people understand it and get the proper water and the proper sunlight so that they could grow and understand why we must talk to our youth to tell them don't hit the streets, it's not worth it, stay away from it because the courts and everything is rigged against us. You see, right now, Donald Trump was charged with 4 indictments and never had a pair of steel handcuffs put on him. Not saying that I wanted on him because he was intricate in my freedom, but I'm just saying fair exchange ain't no robbery. You put the handcuffs on, you know, our people. There's no reason why you shouldn't put the handcuffs on your own people. So that shows that the justice system is, you know, biased right there, you know? 4 indictments, no handcuffs, you know? They arrest anybody right now. They go indict anybody right now. They're going to put handcuffs on them and walk them in the courtroom if they don't self-surrender. You know what I mean? And you know, and once you go in and self-surrender, they usually put the handcuffs on you and parade you around and put you in a ball pen and all this with these handcuffs on, even though you turned yourself in, you know, but not for theirs, you know. But now back to this unanimity is what they call it. I had to learn how to pronounce that unanimity. That's a, you know, unanimous, you know, unanimity. That's a unanimous verdict. Like I said, all 12 have to agree. So you can't have 10 say he did it and 2 say he didn't. At the time when he went to trial in 2009, that was permissible to have a non-unanimous verdict. The Supreme Court has since ruled that no, all 12 people have to unanimously agree, even in the state trial, because that's how it is in the feds. The feds, all 12 have to agree, you know? And that was my issue, to ride, to let you know what my issue is that I fought for 30 years, and I went all the way to the Supreme Court on my own. and won in the Supreme Court all the way back in 1999. And I didn't get my release until 2020, and I didn't even get my release from the overturning of my case in 1999 because no one wanted to admit they was wrong with what they did in my case. You know, so I had what they call a continuing series because the name of my charge was called a continuing criminal enterprise. That's, the cousin, or some people say the sister to the RICO. Racketeering influence corrupt organization. You know what I mean? Now, I had the CCE, and they have what they call a continuing series where they have to prove at least 3 drug violations, which is a continuing series. And all 12 jury have to decide that you committed each one of those 3. All 12 had to agree to the same 3. They never even gave my jury, any drug violations to choose from because the only drug violations I was charged with in my indictment, I was acquitted of. I was acquitted of selling drugs, but served 26 years in federal prison, had to sleep every night, knowing that I had life with no chance of parole, and they expected me to die in a federal prison, toe tagged me with my prison number, not even my government name, and put me in a pine box and buried me out old yellow. Old black ass like me, they treat like old yellow. That's how they expected to bury me, but I refused to die in prison, like C. Murder refused to die in prison. That's why he continuously fight for his freedom, and that's why Monica, with the beautiful voice, the R&B superstar of Atlanta, I love her from the first song she did, Just One of Those Days. You know what I mean? I played that back to back when that came out. I was in Lewisburg when that came out. Now, C. Murder situation is just like mine's. I was telling the courts that, you don't have 3 drug violations, and they wasn't unanimous to 3 because they wasn't submitted 3, and I was acquitted of the only drug violations that was there, so there was no drug violations for them to be unanimous to. They said that's harmless error. Then that was in 96. 99, I went to the Supreme Court. I filed the same motion. I'm going to do a whole video on this. I went to the Supreme Court, and I filed the same thing in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court agreed with me. But it was in another case, Richardson versus United States, some GDs that was out west in Chicago, and they overturned my case, what they call indicta. They play these words, indicta. They saying, they use your case to decide, the Richardson case, but it wasn't your case number in front of us. So your case was overturned in dicta, not, on paper. So now I had to play the game and go back. They say it wasn't unanimous. So that's the same thing that's happening now. I don't know if this new Supreme Court ruling that even the state courts have to be unanimous with a verdict for serious charges such as murder, but they had that, So he had a 10-2 non-unanimous verdict. So he's waiting to go back in now, and now he got Kim Kardashian rolling on his side, right? But that's what unanimity is and unanimous is, right? But that's some old crazy words that I never even learned before. But you know what I mean? So now, the judge throughout the case, throughout his case for another issue, for the conviction because the prosecutor withheld evidence on the witness's background, and that's how he was awarded a new trial the second time. See, they play all these little games. They know that these people play. They hide the background of a witness and then turn around and, let you get convicted and spend 10 years, 20 years in prison trying to put in an appeal to say, hey, they didn't give me the background on the witness. The background on the witness would have been used for what they call Giglio, Jinx, and Brady. These are cases. Giglio versus United States, Supreme Court case. Jinx versus United States, Supreme Court case. And Brady versus Maryland, which was also a Supreme Court case from all the way back in 64, that they have to turn over all evidence, even the evidence that may acquit you. So the evidence that may, that they withheld was called giglio, because giglio is evidence that could have impeached the witness to show his bad side. So you don't want the jury to know the witness's bad side, Mr. Prosecutor. So you hold back, that he beat up his baby mother, raped a 3-year-old kid. Not saying these men did that, but just using those examples, that they don't want them to use that to bring up, well, oh, you testified because you raped a kid, or you testified because you had a murder charge, you testified because you got your own drug charge. That's impeachment evidence. That's called giglio. See, I know these cases by heart because I had to fight this for 20-something years. So who better to give you the knowledge on these type of cases than me? So if you know any cases that you want me to break down and put it in normal hood terminology so you could understand it, instead of YouTube and media jargon, that's going to confuse you even more. Even the Donald Trump situation, I break that down. If y'all would like, I give my people what they like. So I read my comments and I answer my phone. This is my phone that the number's on the screen, 917-680-9091. I answer this phone and I respond to the texts. If I'm out in the streets, it's equivalent to me being in the battlefield in Iraq or Iran. Ain't nobody's going to be in the battlefield answering the phone. You know what I mean? So if I don't answer, that's the only reason why I don't answer, but I will call you back. At least leave a text with your name, where you from, and something, and say, yo, Unique, call me back. And like I said, I will most definitely call you back because I don't play them games. People call me and say, I can't believe you answered. They thought it might have been a robo person answering or a fake thing answering. No, I answer the phone because I want to connect with you. I got people call me 2 in the morning with real life crisis that I have to talk them down off of, you know what I mean? And give them some type of stability. So I don't complain when someone called me 2, 3 in the morning. I had a rat bastard say that I called him 1 in the morning. So what, nigga? I'm supposed to be, your comrade. If your comrade call you, you see what it is that he need. You understand? Don't even have to be a friend, just your brother. You understand? And that's what it is. Cash App on the screen. I don't care if it's $1 or $5. Make sure you hit the logo and it says it was created in 2020 and there's no 1 in my last name. So don't rush to push it and push the button and do the wrong thing, because we're not going to do that. You know what I mean? We ain't giving them nothing for nothing. Now, you know what I mean? The judge threw out, the witness recantation because they said that, he said that the witnesses wasn't credible. How's a man saying that he saw you firing a gun and killing somebody to the jury, and the jury hearing that and coming back with a 10-2 non-unanimous verdict, not credible? So you're saying the jury didn't take in consideration that this man said that he saw C. Murder pull the trigger. See how crazy this is? I don't want y'all to slip. I don't want y'all to hit the streets. I don't want y'all to get involved in none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I say don't do it, but if you choose to do it, make sure you cop the merchandise. You have the right to shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? That's it, right there. You can contact me on that phone number to get the merchandise, or you can go to my website at aurorainharlem.com, the same name as the book that's on the screen, aurorainharlem.com. That's right here, aurorainharlem.com. All right, just so that you know, aurorainharlem.com is where you get the merchandise and everything else. Now, I've been on here long enough, but I just wanted to give you all something and break down this Kim Kardashian situation and tell Kim, man, please contact me, because I know other brothers that could use your assistance, and I know you're not capable of knowing who these brothers are, because I was in the belly of the beast and I still get phone calls from them and still communicate with them. So please, Kim, if anybody know her, Kanye, or any advocates trying to help people in jail, we have my brother Jimmy Fingers, Leonardo Casico. His petition is at freejimmyfingers.com, and he's also at Instagram under Leonardo Casico. That's my brother. He been in from he was 18. He turned 58 years old this year, and he's fighting for his freedom. Come on, fellas. You know what I mean? How long does it take for rehabilitation? When they gave us this time, they didn't expect us to be rehabilitated, released, or none of that. But we still tried to better ourselves. I was in prison, all my war stories, I'm telling you about slinging drugs and all that. I was trying to find myself. So I was doing what I was raised to do. from my environment that I'm not proud of, that I take full responsibility for. And I apologize to my community for poisoning the community. Cash App is on the screen again. Yes, I keep saying that because I feel that these Jews deserve, some type of, contribution. You understand what I'm saying? Period. But I really want to just let y'all know that, man, we have to come together and stop trying to eat each other's backs out. If anybody trying to contact me because they agree or disagree with the content or want me on their platform, my phone number is on the screen. I don't duck nothing. I'm there, and this is what family do. And we need to have a YouTube family of our people trying to help all of us together move up, because you don't see Netflix and Hulu and Showtime and Stars beefing with each other. They even advertise each other on their program. You understand? They advertise each other on their program, and that's what it is. You see, Jerry Lewis runs a fundraiser every year for CBS. I think he passed away. But they always have someone running a fundraiser, and that's the Cash App. When they do it, it's not a problem. I don't care if it's $1, $2, $5. Show some love. If you can't do that, give me an emoji. Make sure you subscribe. At least get like, subscribe, and give me an emoji to show some love. If you can't or don't want to donate $1 or whatever, because you don't have to. You know what I mean? It's just showing your appreciation. I was in the store the other day. 2 young girls was in the store. And they was buying some chips and cookies and things like that. It was about 13, 14 years old, probably middle school. But they was paying in coins, and they was asking how much is this and how much is that total so far and this and that. So I said, sisters, put your money away. I got you. Go get anything you want in the store. I'm going to pay for it. And they looked at me like I was crazy. You know what I mean? They not used to being in Unique's presence. So they ran around and started picking up chips and cookies and nutriment milk and all this, and put it on the counter. The other one sat there a little nervous, didn't know how to react to somebody offering her something without expecting to get anything. I said, young lady, whatever you want, go get it. She said, oh, I'm good. This is all I want. I said, nah, I always want more. So I grabbed a bag of chips. I grabbed the donut. I said, you want this? And she hesitant. So I threw it on the counter. You want that? Threw it on the counter. So I bought them about $30, $40 worth of food when they was going to buy $2 worth of food, and they walked out with a big grocery bag. Soon as they walked out the store, there was a man there, and he said to her, because, no disrespect, they was just a little provocative. You know what I mean? And to be honest, that's why I did it, so that they wouldn't have to do nothing outside of, being young ladies in order to get something to eat from the store. So when they walk out, there was a dude out there, their uncle, and he said, where y'all get all that food? You ain't had no money. You just said you didn't have no money to go in the store. And they were scared to death of their uncle, because I don't know what they were doing while their uncle talked to him like that. But the uncle, said, where you get that stuff? Who gave you the money for that? And they pointed to me. The uncle looked up and saw me, and the uncle was a little boy when I was on the street, and I threw his birthday party. I think it was his 10th birthday party. You know what I mean? I threw his 10th birthday party over there at Esplanade Gardens. And he saw me. I haven't seen the kid from he was 10. Didn't even really recognize him because he was 10 when I last seen him. And now he's a grown man, 40 years old, and I'm just coming out of prison. You know what I mean? So he threw his arms around me, gave me a big hug, and the girls is looking, and they shocked. And they're like, oh, man, I want you to meet your Uncle Unique, man. This Unique. He said, man, it's the realest dude I know. When I was younger, whatever I needed, my father would take me by the Mecca audio, or my mother, and, or your uncle would take me by there, and your father, whoever, and say, man, he need a pair of sneakers because he going to school, or he need a new pair of sneakers because he on the basketball team. He need money to pay to get in the little league basketball. And Unique did all that for me while I'm growing up. And I haven't seen this man since then, man. I just want to tell you I love you. I appreciate you, man. And these are my nieces. You know what I mean? And we exchanged numbers, and I walked away not even, and I'm just keeping it 100. I don't do no faking. You know what I mean? I walked away with no feeling. That's how black my heart is, because it was done from a dark place, but for a good purpose, everything that I've done in life, even poisoning my community, which I apologize for. But I walked away without any feeling of joy or anything. None of that moved me, because to me it was just only right. You know, if you see, you know, one of your people in need, you're supposed to be there for them. That's why I said, if somebody want me on their podcast, I don't care if you got 10 people on your subscriber list, I don't have a problem as long as, you know, you're on man time getting on your program. You know, the 60,000 subscribers I got is not for me, that's for us. That's so that we as a people could blow together. I'm getting ready to do something with Bill Feasy and Banky Pound. They also do prison stories. I'm not up here talking trash about Bill Feasy and Banky Pound saying, oh, the stories they telling, they're not real, they not this, I don't believe this, I don't believe that, because it don't matter what I believe. If I don't like the content, I just don't do it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's all it is. So, you know, man, let me get out of here, because this is stupid. You know what I mean? The way our people eat each other backs out for no reason, man. Yo, make sure you cop the book of Roaring Harlem, man. Cop the book of Roaring Harlem. Cop the book of Roaring Harlem at roaringharlem.com, and it's at Amazon. But go to roaringharlem.com, cop the book, the merchandise, or whatever else you want. Cash App on the screen. Show some love, man. I'm out there doing this for my people. Now my people show me some love back. That's how we do it. All right, let's get this right. You know, and you know I'm going to ride out with some gunshots. You know?
Cheers. Cheers. Toast the crime.
Gunshots. Let's go. Let's go.
Fresh out the can of 26, Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the road men.